Hello, Internet. Welcome to PopSci Quiz Show, the ultimate science trivia competition on Popular Science's social media channels. My name is Jason Lederman. I'm going to be your host for the show. Two teams, one from the Gizmodo Media Group, Gizmodo and Earther, the other from the Intrepid Sea, Air, and Space Museum, going head-to-head in this ultimate battle of fun and knowledge. I'm going to toss to the teams and let them introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about what they do at their respective organizations. Let's start with Gizmodo.
I'm Ryan Mandelbaum, and I go on the computer.
I'm Maddie Stone. I also go on the computer. I'm the managing editor at Earther.com.
Hi guys, I'm Ed Cara, and I cover the science and health beat at Gizmodo and Pugs.
Thank you, Ryan, Maddie, and Ed. Let's throw over to the Intrepid team.
Yes, hey, my name is Jim. I'm a tour guide at the Intrepid Museum. I do not go on the computer.
I'm Jen. I'm an educator with school and teacher programs at the Intrepid Museum, and I do go on the computer. I also teach children, and I spent the last week reading Popular Science magazine cover.
Yeah.
Nice. We're going to need you. I'm Tom. I work at the Intrepid Museum. I manage community engagement and family programs, and I spend my time on the computer, on the floor, and going to find fun things like this.
All right.
Yeah.
Here's how the game works. Thank you, by the way. Here's how the game works. We've got 3 rounds of science trivia. Each round has 9 questions. They're worth between 1 and 3 points. I'll say the value of each one before I ask the question. Teams have up to 5 seconds to buzz in, and then 5 seconds to answer once they've buzzed in. You're absolutely allowed to cut me off if you think you know the answer beforehand.
Like now?
Like right now. Go ahead, test your buzzer. That would be Ryan.
Popular Science.
Nailed it, but no points. If you answer correctly, you get the points. If you answer incorrectly, the opposing team will have 10 seconds to discuss amongst themselves what they think the correct answer is. Get back to me. You can only gain points. There's no losing points, so don't worry about guessing wrong. Just go ahead and guess. We're keeping it fun this time. For multiple choice questions, there are a few in the game. Only the person who buzzes in will be allowed to answer. There's no rebuttal on multiple choice questions. Once we've got our scores, we've done our 9 questions, we'll have a 10th and final bonus question of the round. You've got 3 cards in front of you and a Sharpie. You can use that to write down your answer and your wager. You can bet as many points as you have in your score. You must bet at least 1 point. If you end up with a score of 0 at the end of a round, no big deal. You can wager up to 3 points. That's, I think, our rules. Anybody have any questions, comments, concerns, unabashed compliments?
You're looking good today, Jason.
Thanks, Ryan. Back at you.
What happened to the bow tie?
No bow tie today. Yeah, keeping it loose and breezy. It's summer, you know. All right, let's get started. PopSci Quiz Show round number 1. This round is called A Literal Otherworldly Experience, Space. These questions are all about or relating to space. Question number 1 is worth 1 point. Originally launching in 2004, the European Space Agency's Rosetta spacecraft began orbiting a comet a decade later in 2014. To assist with the mission, Rosetta launched a solar-powered lander, which successfully touched down on the comet but bounced into the shadow of a cliff and ran out of power after 2 days. Name that lander. Ryan.
Philae.
Correct. 1 point for Gizmodo.
Good job, you.
Love that thing.
I love the friendship that we're building right now.
Real trigger finger over here.
Question number 2 is worth 3 points. The most famous dog of the space race is arguably Laika.
Owned by your own instinct.
Jim.
Like a
Ham.
No, I'm sorry, that's not it. The most famous dog of the space race is arguably Laika. The Mutnik, as she was called, became the first animal to orbit Earth aboard Sputnik 2 on November 3rd, 1957, but she wasn't the only dog considered for the mission. For 3 points, name one of the other dogs who could have replaced Laika in the history books.
You can discuss.
Yes, you guys can discuss in 10 seconds.
Probably got some Russian name.
Common Russian 50s dog names.
Airbud.
Airbud.
I have a like Masha. That seems.
Masha.
Masha.
Yeah.
I'm down with Masha.
All right.
Masha.
Masha is so close.
Oh.
It could have been Mushka. Yeah.
Like a
Or
half point.
no,
Mosh,
there's no
Musha,
half points
Mushka.
on the board. Or Albina was the other dog. Albina dropped out because she had a litter of puppies, though. So we got some puppies, you know? All right.
Shame when you have to choose career.
Question number 3 is worth 1 point. It's a multiple choice question. Man first went to the moon in 1969, but the first photographs of the full moon were taken much earlier. In what year did man snap those pics of Earth's only natural satellite? Your choices are A, 1776, B, 1812, C, 1814, or D, 1861. Ryan
1861.
is incorrect. The correct answer was 1840.
That was. You didn't say 1840. You said 1814.
1840 was C.
Ugh, well, there
I heard
was me.
1814 too.
I heard
Yeah.
1840.
I would have
Oh.
said that, Jason.
Oh.
So would I. and I would have been faster.
Number 4 is worth 2 points. Yes, Neil Armstrong and Edwin Buzz Aldrin became the first 2 humans to walk on the moon on July 20th, 1969. For 2 points, name their colleague who piloted...
Well, of course.
Jen.
Michael Collins.
Michael Collins, who piloted the command module Columbia, where they explored the lunar surface. 2 points for the Intrepid.
Giant leap,
Good
yo.
work, guys. This was really
Thank
good.
you though with the
didn't want to
first
go
one.
so fast.
Question number 5 is worth 3 points. In 1960, an idea was proposed that a shell of solar collectors around a star could harness... Maddie
Dyson Sphere.
is incorrect.
No!
Could harness and transfer enough energy to power a civilization in space. It's called a Dyson sphere, named for the physicist who thought up the idea. What is Dyson's first name?
Damn it!
Damn it. I'm sorry, guys.
Mister
Jumped the
probably
gun.
is not going to be accepted. No.
Can we answer again?
That's on me.
What's a good
James.
James is incorrect. You know the answer?
Freeman.
Freeman.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
The tricky questions here at Pop Sci Quiz Show.
Good stuff.
Listen to the whole question.
You can't jump on them. Can't do it.
Yeah, no,
Got
no.
twists.
I learned that the hard way. Yeah.
We all learned that the hard
Ham.
way. Yeah.
Yeah. I would
That was
I was
like
going to say
recovery.
first primate. First
Yeah,
chimpanzee.
it was close. Number 6 is worth 2 points. To make the greatest sandcastle in the universe, stay away from Earth. Instead, you'll want to head to this moon of a gas giant, where seas are filled with hydrocarbons. Jim.
Titan.
Titan is correct.
Oh, wow.
Where the seas are filled with hydrocarbons and the sand sticks together, potentially because it's electrically charged, requiring no liquid to hold your sandcastle together.
Nice.
Rock.
All right, 2 more points. Question number 7 is worth 1 point. The James Webb Space Telescope, or JWST, is now slated for a 2021 launch, 14 years after the original planned launch date of 2007. NASA calls the JWST the scientific successor to what telescope? Jim.
It's the Hubble.
The Hubble. Another point for the Intrepid.
You're quick.
Fingers on it, right?
No. I
Yeah.
thought you had that
I
one.
thought I had it too, but I didn't. I clicked it.
Yeah.
Question number 8 is worth 3 points. On December 15th, 1970, the Russian lander Venera 7 became the first spacecraft to land on another planet and the first to transmit data back to Earth from another world. On which planet did... Jim.
Venus.
Venus did Venera 7 land.
Oh.
Jim, you are fast on that trigger, my friend.
Yeah, trigger.
1, 2,
It's those softball
3.
reflexes.
So
Just-
early.
You see, it's so early.
Ryan's been here for 4 hours.
Right, that's true. That's true. All right, question number 9, the final question of the round, is worth 2 points. In 2012, what spacecraft became the first to ever enter interstellar space? Ryan.
New Horizons.
Incorrect.
Oh, fuck.
Traveling, according to NASA, further than anyone or anything in history.
We'll get the next round.
Back to Airbud.
Oh, Voyager 2?
It's incorrect. It's Voyager 1.
Let's.
All right,
Why
teams.
can't you be more like your brother?
Sorry.
At the end of round number 1, the score is 8-1.
Can we do the remove points thing again?
Here's your bonus question.
Oh.
NASA was founded in 1958, but the agency had a predecessor that was founded in 1913 under Woodrow Wilson. It was called NACA. What does NACA stand for? You have 30 seconds.
Something about
National American Council on Aeronautics.
North American Council on Aeronautics.
It's national. It's national. Yeah, National
Halfway done with
Council.
But there's an A in there.
American.
National American Council.
National
I told you this. National.
Council.
How much you want to bet?
what does the C
Aerospace?
stand for?
Aeronautics.
All right, teams, your time is up. I'll take the answers. Thank you.
Oh, we wagered 0 points.
You can wager one.
You have to wager at least
Wager
1
one.
point.
There's no negative points.
There's no negative points.
Oh, well, 1 point.
Okay. The Intrepid wrote the National American Council on Aeronautics for 2 points. Gizmodo wrote the National Aircraft? Air Scribble Cool Admin for 1 point. The correct answer is the National Advisory Committee on Aeronautics.
You're really close.
Oh, I'm sorry.
so
I'm
embarrassed.
sorry.
You just
I'm
said we
sorry.
don't lose points.
You do lose points. You don't.
You,
On the
right,
wage.
right, you don't go into negative points.
Oh, I get it.
But you have to. You have to do.
Right, but you have to wager at least 1
Alright.
point. Unless you have 0, and then you can wager.
We're good at other stuff too.
That's-
So
But we lost 2, so it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Lemon. Like,
Net
Round
gain.
number 2, you know, like new ball game.
Yeah.
All right. Round number 2, the theme is the rainbow of science. Every question or answer will contain a color.
Aww.
Yeah. Here we go. Question number 1 is worth 1 point. Despite its Ursid name, this bear cat is more closely related to raccoons and skunks than to bears. Ed,
Red Panda.
red panda is correct.
nice. Hell yeah.
Here you go. Made that point right back up. Question number 2 is worth 2 points. Amber is perhaps most famous for the scientific rationale behind Jurassic Park, allowing the characters to bring back dinosaurs with DNA from a mosquito entrapped within the substance. But paleontologists really do find fossils in amber, like dinosaur feathers, baby dinosaur tails, and even baby birds, 99 million years after their time on Earth. So teams, what exactly is amber? Maddie.
It's dried tree resin sap.
Yep, fossilized tree sap. That's it. 2 points. Question number 3 is worth 1 point. This national park, established by U.S. President Ulysses S. Grant and Congress, was the first national park in both the country and the world. Ed,
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone National Park.
Let's go, guys.
Yeah, I know.
Question number 4 is worth 2 points. On June 3rd, 1992, a remarkable thing happened. That's my birthday. That's when I was born. But 27 years prior, in 1965, a remarkable scientific achievement also took place. Edward Higgins White II became the first American to do what? Tom.
perform a spacewalk.
That's it. Spacewalker EVA. 2 points.
Good job.
Used his full name. It threw me off.
I did. No, that's why I did it.
Yeah, good job.
Thank you. Question number 5 is worth 3 points. One name for this bird is the blue canary. Found throughout the woodlands on the east coast of North America, it's known for singing from sundown to sunup, as well as migrating at night. Name this bird.
Wow, I suck.
That's time.
This time. Oh, Ryan?
The common nightjar.
Incorrect. It's called an indigo bunting.
Damn it! That's a good bird.
I don't know my
job,
birds.
Maddie.
Nice, great
I
bird.
was like, I don't know.
Number 6 is worth 2 points. This color has the shortest wavelength of any color on the visible light spectrum. Ryan.
purple.
Incorrect.
The other way. What's the
Okay,
difference?
we're going with that?
They're the same.
Violet.
Violet is correct.
What?
So purple is a mix of
What'd you
red
do?
and blue, but it's not a color on the visible light spectrum.
Oh,
man.
weird.
Yeah, right?
Diabolical.
That's the English language.
Oh, that's it. I gotta flip the thing.
Hey.
Hey, double digits.
Oh, hey. No, I liked where it was.
I like
before
that.
you
20
did.
was fine.
Sorry, Maddie.
It's okay.
Didn't mean to let you down like that.
No, it's fine.
You went for it.
It's, yeah, I
Yeah.
appreciate
I
that.
got really excited about Dyson Spheres.
Question number 7 is worth 3 points. In 1832, this woman, at the time 11 years old, immigrated from Britain to New York City. Though she bounced around the country, it was in New York State where she would make history as the first woman in the nation to earn a medical degree. She even has a national holiday celebrated in her honor every February 3rd, National Women Physicians Day. Who is this trailblazing doctor?
That's time.
Her name is Elizabeth Blackwell. Learning things. That's what trivia is all about, right?
You got it.
The more you know.
The more
Never forget it. Never forget it again.
Yeah, that's how we get sued. Is putting up that graphic.
The more stuff there is in your brain.
There you go. Question number 8 is worth 1 point. Recently, a woman from Tennessee was sent to the emergency room after a spider bite left her with chest pain caused by blood clots in her lungs. Her apartment was found to be infested with what venomous... Tom.
Brown recluse.
Venomous North American spider, the brown recluse.
I hate those things.
Oh,
They're awful.
Yeah.
Question number 9 is worth 3 points. In April, NASA announced its new chief scientist. Please name the chief scientist of NASA.
All right.
Maddie.
Jim Bridenstine?
Not Jim Bridenstine.
I should know
Is
this.
It has a color.
There's a
this-
color
this-
in it.
Betty White.
I'm down for that. We don't
There's
mind.
color, the
It's not the same
rainbow.
thing as the NASA administrator.
What's his name?
Right, that's Jim
That's
Bridenstine.
time.
Okay.
That's time.
Betty White.
Good one.
It's Jim Green.
Oh.
Jim Green, the chief scientist of NASA. So at the end of round number 2, it's 4-11.
Famous Jims.
Yeah.
Famous Jims, famous Jims.
All right.
And here
That's
is
round
your
3 again.
bonus question. Isaac Newton did many experiments involving optics and color to prove that white light is in fact made of 7 different colors. In one of his better-known optics experiments, Newton experimented on himself to see if colors were affected by the eye by sticking what between his eye and eyelid?
This is all you, Ryan. I'm down. Do you feel confident? Yeah.
No. Good. Good strategy.
Guess we should wager something.
That's half.
Okay?
That I would ask him to do the
Okay.
word inflection.
Thank you very much. All right, we have our answers. The Intrepid said a prism lens for 1 point. Gizmodo said a needle for 2 points. The correct answer is a needle.
Yeah.
2 points.
That dude was messed up.
What the hell's wrong with that guy?
What's that?
He was so
He
messed
was
It's-
drinking mercury.
Just dig around back there and see, you know.
How many points did it should be 6 to 10?
1. Good call, Amy.
That's right.
It's now 6 to 10 as we enter our third and final round.
We got
Our teams knew this was coming. Round number 3, as always, is based on our most recent issue of Popular Science. So in this case, it's Life and Death, available now on newsstands. Please buy one. Also
Interesting
available,
read. It was
lots
a
of
great
great
read.
stories
It's
at
a great read.
popsci.com.
Yeah.
We'll win on
There you go, great
really
read.
great read.
we will. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Life and Death. Question number 1. It's worth 1 point. Australian koalas are adorable and known for carrying a strain of what sexually transmitted disease? Jen.
Syphilis.
Syphilis is incorrect.
Chlamydia.
Chlamydia is correct.
Oh, I must have read that
Nice.
wrong. Okay.
There are some wild populations that show a 100% infection rate. They got the
We read
chlamydia.
about that once.
Nice.
Number 2 is worth 2 points. Yoga instructors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, and other non-medical personnel can take classes to learn about the human body at spaces like the Colorado Learning Center of Human Anatomy, which uses what teaching tool?
Oh,
Tom.
that's me. Cadavers.
Correct.
That was a really funky article, by the way.
Yeah, right? Isn't that
Real
cool?
weird.
That story now up on topside.com. Feel free to read it. It's a good one.
Or toward the end.
Number 3 is worth 3 points. As a red giant star ages, if it has enough mass, its outer layers can shed to become a planetary nebula, and its core will turn into what kind, Jim?
A white dwarf.
A white dwarf. What kind of star? It's worth 3 points.
Nice.
1, 2, 3. I can count you guys.
We didn't read the magazine. We're sorry.
Yeah.
Question number 4 is also worth 3 points. The fundamentals of photosynthesis teach us that plants turn carbon dioxide and water into sugar and oxygen. So in theory, an increase in CO2 levels should lead to a vegetational boom. But it actually results in plants acquiring fewer micronutrients and minerals than they previously did. According to USDA data, kale from 1999 had 23% less of what mineral the 1950s greens did? Maddie.
Nitrogen.
Nitrogen is incorrect.
Iron? Okay. Iron?
Iron is correct.
Obviously.
Question number 5 is worth 2 points. Americans use 9 billion gallons of water a day on what? Jim.
Watering their lawn.
Lawns and gardens, that's it. Oh no. You asked for it before, you got it.
Oh, yay!
Question number 6 is 1 point. It's a multiple choice question. There's no rebuttal. According to one study, if humans ever leave the planet, approximately how many people would it take to start a healthy population?
20,000.
20,000 is correct.
Nice.
That was awesome.
Didn't even have to think.
Yeah, no choices.
Yeah, you can move it
I
up.
couldn't get into the choices.
There were a bunch of bigger numbers, but you got it.
I don't need no choices. Nice.
Question number 7 is worth 2 points. Up to how many years does the human brain need to mature? Your guess can be within 2 years of the answer to get the points. Oh, stop.
Oh, mine is still on.
Go! Ryan.
25.
25 is correct.
Nice.
All right, everybody's in double digits now.
Right, double digits.
Question number 8 is worth 3 points. Make sure to reset this time. The first known uterine transplant was performed on a Danish transgender woman known as Lily Elbe. Though she ultimately died from complications due to the transplant, Lily is immortalized in her autobiography, which was published posthumously, and later in the book and movie The Danish Girl. In what decade did her historic transplant take place? Maddie.
The 90s?
90s is incorrect.
Oh, sorry.
I don't.
2000s.
I want, yeah, the first one. The first, yeah, 2010s. I want to say because the first successful birth was 2014. So 2010s.
That works for me. Let's go with it.
All right, teams.
2010s.
2010s is incorrect.
Ah.
The answer is the 1930s.
Oh
my God.
Wow.
Yeah.
yeah, I was way off.
Whoa.
I was way off too. I read that and I was like, wow.
By like
Surgery
weeks and
Yeah,
weeks.
weeks and weeks and
Danish
years.
girl,
even.
so I didn't know.
Wow.
All right, teams. Question number 9. Final question of the round before the bonus. It's 1 point. It's multiple choice. Every parent knows that tired toddlers love to hitch a piggyback ride. The wolf spider straps all her youngins onto her back at once, carrying the brood until they are capable of fully functional spiderhood. On average, how many babies does a wolf spider have at a time? A, 1 to 10, B, 20 to 30, C, 40 to 50, or D, 60 to 70? Jen.
40 to 50.
40 to 50 is correct.
I was going to randomly guess 40 to 50 too.
C is always correct.
So
That's all we see.
We've hit the end of round number 3. We're moving into the final bonus. The score is 10 to 21. Here's the bonus question.
To be fair, wait, can we wager the whole thing? It's
Yeah.
Jeopardy thing?
Yeah, you can do that.
Gotta do it.
Go big or go home. All right, here's the question. In 2015, astronauts aboard the International Space Station ate lettuce grown at an edible scale. What was the appropriately named experiment and plant growth system that allowed astronauts to grow produce in space? Thank you. Thank you very much. Amy, our timekeeper, is very excited right now. All right. For 2 points, the Intrepid said veggie. For 10 points, Gizmodo said veggie. Veggie is the correct answer.
Honestly, not embarrassing.
It was
Yeah.
very,
Yeah,
by
nice.
far, the closest Popside quiz show we've ever had.
Good job.
Nicely
If
done.
it was a full round, I'd be really pissed.
And so, in second place, taking home the science participant
Yes.
ribbons, is
That's
Team
what they wanted
Gizmodo.
anyway.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Gizmodo and
guys. Good
Earther.
job.
We do have you on camera saying that. And our first place winner is taking home our very authentic, not bought on the internet gold medals. It's a Popside Quiz Show winner on the back. It's our team from the Intrepid. Congratulations. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Popside Quiz Show. We hope you had a great time. My name is Jason Lederman. On behalf of everyone here at Popular Science, thanks so much. We'll be back in about 6 weeks with another episode of Popside Quiz Show. Until then, buy the magazine, read more stories at popside.com, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.